Then we come to the actions of the last 24 hours at the Department of Justice and the actions of the Acting Attorney General, Sally Yates. We have heard a number of Democratic colleagues on this committee praise Sally Yates's actions as somehow admirable. I will say it is sad that Sally Yates's conduct in the last 24 hours is entirely consistent with 8 years of a lawless Obama Department of Justice. Now, several have said at this hearing that an attorney general is obliged to be independent to stand up to a president who instructs him or her to disregard the law. That is absolutely correct. That is the obligation of the attorney general to follow the law. But this order had explicit statutory authorization. Indeed, the text of Title 8 of the United States Code, Section 1182F, reads as follows, quote, "Whenever the President finds that the entry of any aliens or of any class of aliens into the United States would be detrimental to the interest of the United States, he may, by proclamation and for such period as he deems necessary, suspend the entry of all aliens or any class of aliens as immigrants or non-immigrants, or impose on the entry of aliens any restrictions he may deem to be appropriate." That is explicit statutory authority. This executive order was promulgated pursuant to that explicit statutory authority. And when the acting Attorney General, an Obama holdover, instructed the Department of Justice to refuse to defend the President's order, it was an act of brazen partisan lawlessness. It was not based on law. It was based on a policy disagreement. Ms. Yates apparently agrees with President Obama and her predecessors at the Department of Justice that allowing unvetted refugees into this country who the FBI has told us they cannot ascertain whether or not they're terrorists, that is a policy mandate, and that the safety and security of Americans is less important than that. That action was nothing short of lawlessness, and I will notice once again, I am always pleased to see my colleagues on either side of the aisle speaking up for rule of law. I'm curious where these sentiments calling for an independent attorney general were in 2009 and 2010 and 2011 and 2012 and 2013 and 14 and 15 and 16. Because for the life of me, I cannot recall a single instance in which Eric Holder or Loretta Lynch stood up to Barack Obama on anything. Time after time after time, when the IRS illegally and impermissibly targeted American citizens based on their political views, the Attorney General refused to appoint a special counsel and instead assigned the case to a major Democratic donor who had given over $6,000 to Barack Obama and the Democratic Party. That was lawless. It was brazen. It was partisan. Repeatedly at this committee, I asked both Eric Holder and Loretta Lynch, would you appoint a special counsel who is not a major Democratic donor to investigate the Obama IRS using the powers of government to persecute those who disagree with the president? They both defiantly refused to do so.